Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of the Autistic Superblog's The Power of the Prompt. This, for new readers and listeners, this is going to be all about a prompt that I'm given on WordPress.com, and to kind of explain why the situation is what it is, why I'm answering the prompt as it is, and and the prompt, as you can see in the description, is name the professional athletes you respect the most and why. This is also the reason why I tagged the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in this particular post, because a lot of them has to go with professional wrestlers that I know, or, or or I wish I knew, or people that I know that are wrestling fans and longtime friends and fans, and of course you all do, reason viewers and listeners, know that I'm a wrestling fan. That, but also wrestling can be a little bit overwhelming when you got too much of it. But so I decided to kind of break these down a little bit, and the reasons that I chose these people will be understandable when I explain. First, first professional wrestler I really admire is Bret the Hitman Hart, because of his technical expertise. His when Gorilla Monsoon, God rest his soul, mentioned him as the excellence of execution, I couldn't have agreed more, because everything he did had a purpose. Every move that he made built on layer upon layer upon layer, and he was all about ring psychology. And just watching his matches, he made it cool to wear pink in public as a guy. Um, in 1993, which is when I started to become a wrestling fan. And he was the one that really kind of inspired me to like pro wrestling, because he made the things he was dealing with so believable, to the point to where you could actually feel that he needed you to carry him through that match. And it was something that I really admired about him. And it's something that I really admire about him. Another person I admire as a professional wrestling fan, Kurt Angle. Like, he is amazing. Like, he was, think of it this way, he was an amateur wrestler who won the Olympics, who won a gold medal at the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. I've got to say that, but took to wrestling like a shark takes water, or a fish takes water, and did an amazing job of blending his real life wrestling skills into a bona fide career that has made him a Hall of Famer. And I know he will be a Hall of Famer in the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame one day. Yeah, I know that for a fact. But just his believability, his comedic timing was something that I really admired about him too. Another wrestler I admired Triple H. And say what you want of him as booking as the booker of WWE right now. I think he's done an amazing job. There are some marks, but I also feel like there are also some good things about it too, in that he listens to the people. I mean, he must have been able to hear the crowd during the Reign of Terror when he held a stranglehold on the World Heavyweight title, but it's how he built himself up. It's how he learned from Harley Race, how he learned from Ric Flair, how he learned from the greats of the business, and made himself a better wrestler because of it. And without mentioning that too, I can go into the Click and Shawn Michaels and all that stuff. And yeah, I wrestling websites have done a better explanation about it than I could. But suffice to say that Triple H is a wrestling fan, but he also gets we're all about. But he was also, during his DX years, um someone that made wrestling seem cool in '97. To kind of give you some backstory to this, I was actually at the SummerSlam event in Madison Square Garden in 1998, I believe, when he defeated The Rock in a ladder match to become the Intercontinental Champion. And the crowd, my gosh, the crowd was just on him, and they were cheering, and we were cheering for him, and the place erupted when he won the belt finally in a match that I feel like elevated both to main event style. Um, Another one that I really like is someone that shared the ring with Triple H and Bret Hart and Kurt Angle on multiple occasions. The Undertaker. Cannot say anything bad about him because, especially with his podcast and all that stuff, and him opening up himself up to the wrestling business as he has, I feel like that has really like given him a new dimension to the character. But when you look at his WrestleMania streak, no one touches him. No one could touch him. I mean, he had this believability, much like Triple H, much like Bret Hart, made you want to see him in the ring. Um, made you want to see his performance. Made you want to hear the gong go off and his long walk and his moves in the match, and it just made you realize, oh my gosh, this guy may be a real person, but in the character, he puts everything into his character, and that's kind of like myself too. Because I put myself, whatever I'm doing, whether it's here on the Autistic Super blog, at work, or my poetry, I always have to give my dead level best. I want to make sure that I do the best I can. And I feel like there's the same thing with The Undertaker too. Another person who main evented with The Undertaker in SummerSlam during the match with Triple H, uh, during the pay per view that had Triple H win the Intercontinental title was Undertaker's opponent, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is an individual I wish I could be. Like honest, brash, loud, abrasive, like that kind of person. Like who gives not two single you know whats about what he's gonna say next. I mean, I love that about him. How he's able to how I was able to live vicariously through him and tell people off without doing so in a vulgar way or anything else like that. I think that's kind of the reason why I gravitate towards wrestling as a general rule, because the characters that are in the ring make you realize that they're living our best lives and they're doing the things that we wish we could do to others. But of course, we've always got to be not politically correct, but I mean, like, we always have to be prim, proper, well behaved, and all that stuff. And wrestling just gives us that outlet to really make things feel like, yeah, you can cheer for the people, and no one's gonna disagree with you on it. Um, Another person that I really admire is Doug Flutie. Like the Boston College's Hail Mary. What more could I need to say? Um, his ability to know that there was something going on, to know the right play to make and make everything count, and his ability to never give up under stressful circumstances. I mean, that's all I need to say about that. But the reason why I like Doug Flutie so much is because of his making autism awareness part of his goal because of his son Dougie, Doug Jr. And once I found out that Doug Flutie's son had autism, I felt like a spirit towards him. I felt like this guy is someone that I can really relate to and really feel like I have a kindred spirit with. Um, and another and another group of people that really inspire me um, are the Paralympians who are who are doing their best in Paris right now to win gold for their countries and working their hearts out to really like get themselves into that spirit. I just want all the Paralympians to know, and all the Olympians too, that you guys are amazing. You guys matter. You guys inspire us. I mean, people in the disability community to be better people, to be better individuals as a result of what you guys are doing by your own by your own uh, trials, your struggles, your setbacks, your triumphs. Your triumphs, Paralympians, are our triumphs because I feel like you kind of give us hope in the way that makes us feel like even though we're dealing with a lot, even though we're dealing with so much else in the world, that we're never alone because you've got our backs, that you're one of us, and it's one of the things I always like as an artist myself. And I know this is not professional athletes, but I'll just say it like this: I admire and I cherish the poets that I know in my community. Like they make me feel better about myself. They make me feel like my feelings, my poetry, my efforts matter to them. And it's something that I'll never take for granted. I could never take for granted, not ever. So that's kind of my long-winded version of the power of the prompt. So if you like this video, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you like these videos, you can check me out here on the Autistic Super Channel on YouTube. You can check me on X, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And you can check out all my videos on the Autistic AutisticSuperblog.wordpress.com. Until next post, there, dear readers and viewers, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.